Hey everyone, welcome back. So you've probably heard these two words thrown around a lot, interpreter and compiler. And if you've ever wondered what actually is the difference between them and why should I even care, this video is for you. Stick around because by the end of this, it's going to click perfectly. Before we dive in, let's quickly set the stage. When you write a program, whether it's in Python, Java, C++, or any other language, you're writing what we call source code. This is human-readable code that you and I can understand. But here's the thing. Your computer doesn't understand it at all. Computers only understand machine code, which is basically a bunch of zeros and ones. So something needs to translate your source code into machine code. That's where compilers and interpreters come in. Alright, let's talk about compilers first. A compiler is like a translator that reads your entire source code all at once, from top to bottom, and converts it into machine code before your program ever runs. Think of it like this. Imagine you have a recipe written in French, and you hire someone to translate the entire recipe into English for you before you start cooking. You get a brand new document in English, and now you just use that document. The original French recipe, you don't need it anymore. Now let's talk about interpreters. An interpreter is different. Instead of translating the whole program up front, it reads and executes your source code line by line, one statement at a time. Using our translation analogy again, imagine you have a live human translator standing next to you. You read one line of French, they translate it right away, you act on it, then you move to the next line. No separate translated document is created. It all happens on the fly. Let me put this side by side so you can see the core difference clearly. A compiler takes all your code, processes it completely, and produces a separate executable file. That file can be run again and again without the original source code. An interpreter, on the other hand, needs the source code present every single time you run the program, because it's translating in real time as it runs. This is a fundamental difference that affects speed, portability, and error detection, all things we'll explore in detail. Let's look at real examples now. C and C++ are classic compiled languages. When you write a program in C, you use a compiler like GCC. You type your code, hit compile, and GCC processes your entire file and spits out a .exe or a binary file. Once you have that compiled executable, you can send it to any other machine with the same architecture, and it will just run. No source code needed, no compiler needed on that machine. This is why most operating system kernels and performance-critical software are written in C or C++. On the flip side, Python is a great example of an interpreted language. When you run a Python script, the Python interpreter reads your script line by line and executes each statement on the spot. There's no separate compilation step. You just call python_myscript.py and it runs. This makes Python super quick to develop with because you don't have to wait for a compilation step. But it also means Python needs to be installed on any machine where the script runs, because the interpreter itself is doing the translation every time. One of the biggest differences you'll notice is speed. Compiled programs are generally much faster during execution. Why? Because all the translation work is done beforehand. By the time you run the program, the machine code is already ready to go at full speed. Interpreted programs carry a performance overhead because the interpreter is doing translation work while the program is also trying to run. It's like trying to drive a car while also building it. That's going to slow you down. Here's another important difference: when errors are found. With a compiler, it checks your entire code before anything runs. So if there's a syntax error on line 50, the compiler will catch it and refuse to produce an executable until you fix it. You see all errors up front. With an interpreter, errors are found as the code runs. So if there's a bug on line 50, your program will run lines 1 through 49 just fine, and then crash when it hits line 50. This can make debugging tricky because errors appear at runtime, not before. Let's talk portability. Compiled code is tied to the target platform. A program compiled for Windows won't just run on Linux or Mac without recompilation. This is why when you download software, you often see different versions, one for Windows, one for Mac, one for Linux. Interpreted code, however, is generally much more portable. As long as the interpreter is installed on a machine, the same source code runs everywhere. Python scripts, for example, run on Windows, Mac, and Linux without any changes. You just need Python installed. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Java. Java is a great example of a hybrid approach. When you compile Java code, it's not compiled to native machine code. Instead, it's compiled to something called bytecode. Bytecode is a middle ground language that gets stored in .class files. Then, the Java virtual machine, the JVM, interprets and executes this bytecode. This means Java code can run on any platform that has a JVM installed, which is the famous write once, run anywhere principle. Pretty smart, right? JavaScript is another fascinating example. Historically, JavaScript was purely interpreted. Browsers would read and execute it line by line. But modern JavaScript engines, like Google's V8 engine, use something called just-in-time compilation, or JIT. JIT compilation is a technique where the code is compiled to machine code at runtime, just as it's needed. So instead of interpreting line by line, V8 compiles hot code paths on the fly, giving you much better performance. This is why modern JavaScript is blazing fast compared to the old days. Ruby is another popular interpreted language. Ruby on Rails, one of the most famous web frameworks, runs on the Ruby interpreter. When your Rails server handles a request, the Ruby interpreter is processing the code right there and then. This is why Ruby is loved for rapid prototyping and web development. You write code, run it, see the result immediately, no compilation wait time. The trade-off, of course, is that it's slower than compiled languages at raw execution speed. Go, also known as Golang, was built by Google, and it's a compiled language that's designed to be both fast and easy to write. Go compiles incredibly quickly, we're talking milliseconds, and produces a single self-contained binary. No runtime dependencies, no need for anything extra to be installed. You compile your Go program and you ship one binary file that just works. This makes Go extremely popular for building cloud infrastructure, command line tools, and high-performance servers. Here's a core trade-off you'll see again and again. Compiled languages give you blazing fast runtime performance, great for systems programming, games, and performance-critical apps. But they have a slower development cycle because you have to compile before every test run. Interpreted languages give you faster development speed. Write code, run it immediately, see results. But at the cost of runtime performance. This is why Python dominates in data science and rapid prototyping, while C++ dominates in game engines and operating systems. There's also a difference in memory usage. Compiled programs are typically more memory efficient because they're converted to lean machine code. Only what the computer needs to execute is loaded. Interpreters, on the other hand, need to load themselves into memory along with your source code. Plus, they maintain extra data structures for managing the interpretation process. This is one reason why Python applications can use significantly more RAM than equivalent C or Go programs. Let's quickly touch on security. Compiled code is distributed as a binary executable. If someone gets your compiled program, reverse engineering it to recover the original source code is really difficult, though not impossible. This offers some level of code protection. Interpreted languages, on the other hand, often ship source code directly, or bytecode that's easier to decompile. Python, for example, can be compiled to .pyc bytecode files, but tools exist to decompile those fairly easily. So if protecting your algorithm is critical, compiled languages have an edge here. So when should you use each? Use compiled languages when you need maximum performance. Think game engines, operating systems, database engines, embedded systems, and high-frequency trading. C, C++, Rust, and Go are your friends here. Use interpreted languages when development speed matters most. Web development, scripting, automation, data analysis, machine learning, and rapid prototyping. Python, JavaScript, Ruby, and PHP shine here. And for enterprise applications that need both portability and decent performance, Java and Kotlin are the go-to choices. Let's do a quick recap with a comparison table. Translation. Compiler does it all at once up front. Interpreter does it line by line at runtime. Execution speed. Compiler wins. Interpreter is slower. Error detection. Compiler shows all errors before running. Interpreter shows errors during runtime. Portability. Interpreter wins generally. Compiler requires recompilation per platform. Development speed. Interpreter wins with instant feedback. Code protection. Compiler offers more protection. Keep these differences in your mental model. They'll help you understand why different technologies make different choices. And there you have it, the complete breakdown of interpreters versus compilers. We covered what they are, how they work, real-world language examples like C, Python, Java, JavaScript, Go, and Ruby, and the trade-offs between them. Honestly, neither one is better than the other. They're just different tools built for different jobs. As you grow as a developer, you'll get a feel for which tool fits which situation. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more clear visual tech explanations just like this one. See you in the next video.